Yes mate, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking and having an honest conversation about APXT's share price, current share price in particular. It's sitting at under $12 per share. Before Christmas, obviously I've been covering AvePoint and its merger with APXT on this channel for several months now. And before Christmas, I made some price targets on the lead up to the merger. So what I want to do today is have an honest conversation, my honest thoughts on the share price of APXT, where I do think it could potentially go in the short term, reviewing my previous price targets as well, and just giving you guys an honest opinion of what my thoughts are on APXT's share price at the moment. Some of you guys may disagree with me. These are just my thoughts and opinions. I may be completely wrong. In some cases, I hope I'm completely wrong as well. So let me know in the comments down below if you disagree or what your sort of prediction is in terms of the share price of APXT. Now, as always, if you are new and want to join the investing community, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. It's completely free. Link to the Patreon is also in the description, where you get access to the Discord community. And any profit that we make over the last few months, and for the next few months in particular, will be going to a local cat rescue charity. So if you want to give to charity but get something out of it, and you're a fan of cats, then check the link out in the description down below. If you hate cats, I'd probably just give it a miss. But anyway, let's talk about APXT. So APXT's share price, as we all know, recently has been hit quite hard. And that is mainly due, well, there's a couple of things. It's mainly, or firstly, due to the fact that the merger date, or the projected merger date, was pushed back. Originally from expecting to be around February time, it was then pushed back to potentially end of Q1, and now it's sort of looking at the beginning of Q2. So obviously every time it has been pushed back, the projected merger date, this has caused a negative effect on the share price. That has then combined over the last 6 to 8 weeks with the general market, stock market correction. So those two combined has made APXT's share price drop quite considerably from its highs before Christmas of around sort of $16.50 to $17 per share. It is now sitting at sub $12 at the time of filming. So previously my price target was between $18 and $20 on the lead up to the merger, and there's a few catalysts in particular that I was looking forward to. Obviously the vote for the merger, the date of that actually being released, the vote then being approved, and then the actual date of the merger being released as well. These are sort of all mini catalysts, and obviously combining that with the 2020 financial reports that we've seen, and then by that time we'd then see Q1 of 2021's quarterly earnings reports come out as well. So there's loads of catalysts combining at the time that the merger was expected to take place, and that's why I gave it, in a lot of people's opinions, a conservative $18 to $20 price target on the lead up to the merger. Obviously I made this price target in December, when firstly the merger was due to take place in February. There hadn't been any merger pushbacks, but obviously this is outside of AvePoint's and APXT's control. It's all to do with the SEC's reviewing of the forms that have been submitted. But yeah, I made these price targets, and a lot of you guys made your price targets in December when the stock market was booming and when everything looked pretty decent in terms of the merger coming up in February. However, since then, the merger has been pushed back a couple of times, or the projected merger date has been pushed back a few more months. And also combining that with the stock market correction that we've seen ourselves in over the last sort of 2 months or so, means that the whole general market is down compared to where it was in December. So therefore, I think it's only sensible that the price targets that we make on APXT short term, this doesn't affect it long term in my opinion, because the only things that have changed is the merger has been pushed back, or the projected merger has been pushed back. The fundamentals of the company hasn't changed, and also we're currently in a bit of a correction. Well, we are in a correction of the overall stock market. The fundamentals haven't changed on APXT and AvePoint. So long term, I'm still very bullish on AvePoint as a company, and will be holding a lot of shares for a long time. However, I do think it's sensible the short term price target needs to reflect the current situation of the whole stock market in particular. And that's why I hate doing price targets, because you can do a price target based on what you see future catalysts be. But overall, it just depends on what the stock market in general is doing as well. If you're in a correction, then the price targets that you've made, regardless of the catalyst, will be hit. Whereas if the stock market then booms in a couple of months after you made the price target, you look like a genius, because not only have you nailed your price target, you've also exceeded it. So yeah, that's why I hate doing price targets, because it just depends on so many factors that are outside of the business itself's control. So that being said, I don't think that an $18 to $20 short-term price target for APXT on its lead up to the merger is likely. And this is my opinion, just based on the current situation we find ourselves in the market, plus where the share price is at the moment. It's sub $12. So we'd need a 50% increase on the lead up to the merger in order to hit the bottom end of my price target, which being as though hopefully the merger takes place in the next sort of, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. They're looking at end of Q1, beginning of Q2. So there's not long left if they want to actually meet that Q2 target. So I do think that is a bit too far of a gap to climb, especially given the current market situation. However, if the market started to recover back to where we saw it in December, then I do think potentially a $16 price target over the short term is feasible. However, like I said, I am in it for the long term, and to be honest, from my personal opinion, I would still like to build my position up further and get my average share price down. My average share price is currently sitting in the $14 marks. I'd love to get it sub 14 before we get any merger news coming out and before it then starts to push on, because inevitably this share price will not stay at this price over the next sort of few months, few years. I think this is a very good price, and I don't think it will stay like this for long. And I do think in a couple of years, people may look back along with other companies and think, wow, that was at $12 at some point, and it's now in the 20s, 30s. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with AvePoint as a company. Sitting at this current share price, I do want to accumulate more shares and get my average share price down. That's why I now no longer care about what the share price does in the short term, because I'm not looking to sell any shares in the short term. I want to average down my position. So if the merger does get delayed, as long as the merger takes place, which it 99% sure that it will do, as long as that takes place, I don't care when it takes place, because I'm going to be holding these shares for the long term. So hopefully you guys are a long-term investor in APXT if you are currently sitting on shares and perhaps bought at a higher average price. If you are a long-term investor, I would not care about what the share price does over the next couple of months. Then we'll be sitting on some shares in a very, very solid company with 30% revenue growth year on year, no debt on the balance sheet, over $500,000 in cash once they do merge. The list goes on. All those sort of positives that I have discussed about AvePoint on previous videos. So yeah, so short term, I don't think my original price target of 18 to 20 will be hit due to the current market situation and also due to the multiple pushbacks of the projected merger date. But I just wanted to do an honest video and give my honest thoughts and opinions on the share price of APXT, so you guys know I'm being as transparent as possible. I'm not trying to pump a stock up. If I do think that my price target was a bit optimistic, which at the time I don't think was optimistic, but I did not see this correction come in at the time of the hopeful merger was taking place. So yeah, I'm not psychic. But yeah, the correction has happened, and it's happened at a time where if you're a short-term trader, it's not a great feeling. But if you're a long-term investor, you can accumulate shares, bring your average share price down and hold for the long term. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the transparency and the honesty. And if you do disagree, let me know in the comments down below what you think your price targets are for APXT over the short term. When do you think the merger will take place? I've got a couple more APXT and AvePoint videos coming out probably later on this week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. As always, appreciate the support. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below. Thanks for watching and stay safe.